Okay, this is just a quick update on my horsepower journey. Since I had everything open, I had to replace the fan because that fan was kind of noisy. Had to cut a few things in. That took a few days to almost a week for the part to get here. I actually found a cheaper fan too. So if you look hard enough and long enough, you'll find it. Also too, I found a little crack underneath here, so I had to replace that. I did all the wiring so that way heat will come up a little bit better on both sides. Also secure some of the stuff here. The belt and everything's all back to the way it was. Well, actually with the AC bypass, because remember I took the AC out and stuff. This is my last thing. It's on temporary right now because since it's a testing mode, the fan is not hooked up yet. But I took pictures, I took a few steps to how to make them, so I'm probably gonna link to this so that way in case somebody needs to turn from clutch fan to E-fans. And I guess I'm gonna have to make a bracket of my own because I don't really like I need this to flow freely, I guess. So am I gonna make a little bracket so that way most of the air passes through. We actually drove this for 20 minutes without this fan, and it didn't get hot. It actually, as long as you're not in idling, but during my test, I was able to idler 30 minutes. Actually, it was 45 minutes, but the limit I would suggest is 30 minutes in the car. That way you have some room left. So even if your fan failed and stuff, you can actually drive this for 30 minutes as long as you're not idling 30 minutes. So you can drive for a while as long as you're not idling. Let me correct that. For the radiator, this is actually brand new. I had to buy a new one because I'll show you in a minute. The oil was leaking through and stuff, and it was dirty in the engine. I thought it was one of those was leaking, but it's actually probably the connector was bad, because there's actually a washer in here. So if your connector is actually bad, the radiator is still good. It's just the washer itself. So take note on that one. You might save like $100 on your radiator right there. And once I put those back, it was the oil was actually the one that is actually doing it, and it was just happened to be the gasket. That was it. But since I had it open, everything, I did it anyway, so I didn't care. The thing cost this radiator cost me $50. If you buy them in like the auto store and stuff, it is around, I believe, 120, because you know they gotta make profit. But as far as I know, I bought them on the internet and it was cheaper. But the only thing I don't like was that they send me a bent one. They must have dropped it or something, and it's actually like a big bend, and I had to fight with the seller, and they didn't want to send it fast, blah 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 blah. So I had to wait almost 2 weeks for the radiator, for the radiator to come, and I had it out already, and I didn't want to put the old one back, and I didn't test the old one either because I was being lazy. But anyway, these are all the junk that I got out here. So that's the all the holes and stuff, and that's the condenser for the thing. I have the other parts over there, like the what you call it, the dryer and the pulley and stuff like that. And then this here, that's the radiator right there, and that's what I was talking about earlier. Right here, it was leaking through. You can see that dark spot right there. So I thought the radiator was leaking, but it's actually the oil. I was a dumbass trying to think, you know, I could have saved $50 for that one, but that's okay. I don't care. Anyway, that's the old radiator right there. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I might just, but you can see right there with this part here and the other crap there, I probably took like 50 pounds off this truck. So you can see right there. So the next thing, I'm probably gonna mod this a little bit. I need there's a way to actually add more air into this, but I don't think it needs it. But right now I'm just gonna leave it. When we do the test last night, I actually run without this for like in another video. I actually run this for 45 minutes and it was actually pretty good, because remember, I have a video that bypassing that thermostat, and a lot of people posing to that, but I'm gonna test it out and see. I think it's actually better. I know a lot of people don't like to run an engine cold because it's not fuel efficiency, blah 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 blah, and all that stuff. They might be right in some part, but the engine gets so hot anyway. I mean, I saw this guy actually in Maine actually run without him. So, and he ran for years without the thermostat in it, and he ran for years without even two of these fans, because they live in the cold weather. So if he's on the move, this will always be cold. So I think he was right, but to reach his own, I guess. But so far as my case, I found out that you can actually run this engine for like, I don't know, over 45 minutes without the clutch fan and the regular fans. So in reality, you can run that as long as you, like I said, you got 30 minutes at idling. That's it. So as long as you're not stopping 30 minutes, you can probably go this for from hundreds of miles, because the air always going through here. But I wouldn't do it with the AC compressor, because the AC compressor needs a lot of air. They actually, if you look at it, it's actually smaller. They're taller, but they're smaller. See the grid on them? These actually opens a lot bigger. But then look at that, and plus look at all the stuff that has been clogged up and stuff. So I guess learning from that. But as far as I know on this here, did it pick up like speed and stuff like that? Yes. And the cranking, it's a lot easier now since that clutch fan is gone. It didn't take much to crank this now to start the engine. I was really surprised. I mean, I was when we were testing them, I'm like, wow, it actually does work. And if you step on the gas there, it does pick up like fast. So I guess the weight is gone from these thing here. So I guess you picking up is the weight, I guess. I mean, that's extra pulley. These two are extra pulley right there. So you pick up from there. And the alternator, I think the amperage went up, that's for sure, because it didn't take much to recharge my cranking amps right there. So I think about half an hour or so I was able to crank it again, even though that battery was weak right there. But that's it on this video, and I'm going to my next one is this one right here. After wiring, I'm gonna run a really quick on them, so that way in case people wants to know how to do the wiring process, I'll make a separate video, so that way people would know how to wire them and stuff. But other than that, that's the update on this video here.